Hey, hey, hey. I'll give it a second. Great afternoon. Great afternoon. Happy Saturday. I'm going to just real quickly see if you have anybody jump on really fast. There we go. Hey, hey, hey. Who's joining? Hey, Latoya. Hey. Hey, 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 Lisa. Gonna jump on. We're gonna talk about brows today. Let me just put I'm on Divaatmarykay Color Group. Thank you. My aunt, she gave it to me. Isn't that cute little set? Perfect for a diva. Perfect for a Delta diva too, girl, ain't it? So she said it was too heavy for her, but it's really not heavy. But she was like, take it. I was like, I didn't ask no second question. Like, are you sure? I grabbed that up so fast. So, yes. A lot of times when I see a red set, the earrings are always so little. So, I love this. So, hey, Jazz, Nicole, Spence. Hey, Lisa. Okay, so you guys just got off of an event with my sorority. And so I had to have my face made up for the event, right? Especially since, since I was one of the speakers and it was so awesome, just awesome sharing on today about really, it was stress. Ultimately, it was just how to bounce back if you lost a job or, had some negative things going on, and just kind of talked about that. So that was a lot of fun. It was such an honor to share, and gave them some diva juice, gave them some energy. You know how we do it. We give some energy. So hopefully you guys aren't looking in my head, but I needed to be able to where you can see close. Okay, so because I was already done, I said, okay, what can I do? So I want to talk about eyebrows. And I want to invite you, if you have not participated in our eye color, you can see how I create my eyes. So if you are a one eye color girl, let me help you out to get you to at least 3 or 4. So I have on my eyes currently, I have our shiny penny. Let's see if I look down. I have our shiny penny. I have our Gold Coast or Gold Status. Not sure what the current name is. And Cinnabar, and I have Hot Fudge. So we're not using those exact colors tomorrow, but you see how I created the look. So since my eyes were already done, I said, okay, I'm going to show you what it does look like, with eyebrows. A little bit, because my whole mission is to inform folks that your eyebrows matter. Like, your brows are the definition, helps to define your face. So I am going to actually use our eye makeup remover. So I'm taking you from the after, and then I'll bring you back. So this is our eye makeup remover, and I'm going to take off my brows. And so for those of you who don't know me, you may get amazed at what you see. I have been plucking my eyebrows since I was 18. So that has been over 40 years, you guys. Yep, I'm 52. Proud of my age, because I don't believe I look like I'm 52. But it's the Mary Kay. So I use my Mary Kay products faithfully. Got to work around these eyes sometime, y'all, though, because your eye area is the first area you see signs of aging. So you got to make sure you're using the eye cream consistently, because it matters. Definitely matters. So I'm going to just remove my eyebrow. So just to show you. So my brow, as you can see, and the eye makeup remover takes it right on off. So as you can see, compared to that brow, my eyebrow stops right in the middle. And when you're looking at your shadow, just going to get I'm using our oil-free eye makeup remover, but it has a little conditioner in it. So it makes it appear like it's oily, but it's really not. So imagine, even just look at the difference of the two eyes. So having a brow defined and not having a brow. So I'm going to show you how you build your brow, because we get that question all the time. And today I didn't even put on concealer. So I'll show you even without the concealer. But the concealer is definitely like a magnet. I mean, it's magic. It's magic in the concealer, because concealer helps you to kind of fix any areas that you have if it's not clean. So when you see people like with those perfect brows, like most of us don't have perfect brows. One may arc a little bit differently, and then the key though is, because our left side and our right side face aren't perfect, right? They're more like relatives. We hope they look closer to sisters who look alike. Like I used to say, you want your eyebrows to look like sisters. Then I realized, well, a lot of us sisters don't look alike. Like, thank you. You missed the story. It came from my auntie. She had it in her closet and it was like, oh, you take it. When I saw that red, it caught my attention. So thank you. So your eyebrows may not be perfect. So in your creating them, you should have them to look as closely alike as possible. So here we go. So we're going to get started. I just kind of started off with 2 brows. Now I took off the one so you can show. And first of all, I want you to just see the difference of having a brow to go where it's supposed to versus not having a brow that stops at the top of your head. Right? So the eyeshadow don't even pop as well under here. The products that we use to do brows, we have a brow precision pencil. Now I'm gonna make this statement because it blessed somebody last Monday when I did a one-on-one facial with her about eye color. You want to use a brow pencil. You don't want to use an eyeliner. I don't care if it's a brown eyeliner. You don't want to use a eyeliner. The reason why is the formula for an eyeliner is more intense and richer than the formula for a brow pencil. The whole goal for the brow pencil is that it still look like hairs. Versus when you use a liner around your eyes, we want it to be bold and deep. So we don't want you walking around looking like you were like Batman. I don't know why that reminds me of Batman when their eyes are so dark. So we want it to be soft. Okay, so that's one. You want to use we're going to use the Precision Brow Pencil by Mary Kay. Of course, for those of you who are on here, only products that we show you are Mary Kay products. And everything we use is Mary Kay. So we can hook you up with all of Mary Kay products. So we have that. Then, hey, Miss Ernestine, hope things are going well for you at the daycare. Then this is our brow tint, and I use brunette. When my hair is lighter, I always try to use a softer look. So when you see me first put it on, it'll be deeper, and then I would tone it down either with eyeshadow or I'll use my brow tint. I'll also be using our brow brush at the end. You can see the brush here. That will help me to just kind of blend in the color, and that helps it to soften as well. So those are the key things, because today I'm not using the concealer. I used our gold eyeshadow, so I didn't have to use the concealer. And I knew I was going to be taken off to show you. So when you deciding where to, and I'm getting close to you, so on here, and I need a mirror. Oh gosh, here I go again. I always come here without a mirror. Give me 1 second. Let me grab the mirror out of this case. Forget, this is one of our contacts I was using as a prop. But the thing about this whole situation, you guys, I want to encourage you, stop trying to be perfect. Just got to get the information out. Hey, see you, Crystal. And, things will happen. They won't be perfect, but have the courage to do it. That was one of the things I talked about today. Having the courage to do it. There we go. Okay, here we go. So, getting close. Here's my mirror. When you're deciding where your brow should start and finish, you use your nose as the guide. Using your nose as the guide. So you go from your nose up. And hopefully a pencil you'll see. Okay, so you see where it is. So it's from the nose, see it's hitting my corner of my eye, going straight up. So that tells you where it's supposed to start. Now, some of us, it may start a little bit further in. You may go out too far. That's when we start to, we always know where to get rid of stuff, but we don't always know where we need to add stuff. So if my brow started a little bit further over, then I have to fill in a little bit to get it closer, because there's, some people brows do start a little bit over, but through time also they may have to start losing hairs and it's not as distinct. So that's one point. Then we go over. So I keep it. I never let the bottom of the pencil leave the nose. Then I go over. So I'm going to go over to my, just past my pupil. Hope I'm calling that the right thing. And I'm just going to be past it, because we don't want like a boomerang where it goes like straight up your forehead. You want it to go with the structure of your face. So bottom of my nose, I'm going like it's a hands on the clock over, and then I'm going to make a mark. Ooh. I've never broke my pencil. So you guys see the little dot right there. So that tells me where it should arc up and then start to come down. Then still I never leave it at the point of my nose. Now I'm catching the corner of my eye. So I'm taking a direct angle from my nose to the corner of my eye. Nose to the corner of my eye. And then I'm gonna make a line here. So that tells me where my brow is supposed to finish. So at the nose, you just keep going around the face, eye, and then at the end. Okay. Then what I do is, and you may not have to do as many steps as me. The issue with me, right, is because I don't have anything on the end. So you may have some, your full structure of your eye, but you may have to fill in. Like I literally have to create the end of my brow. And it's very common where people have a nice full here, but they don't have it there. Okay. So then what I do next, and I have to look at the real mirror. So I'm going to just come close and I create. So I go up where that point is there, and then you'll see me start to come down to the point. So I'm going to get rid of that. So that's just to help me line up. So underneath, I use the underneath of my brow, and then I go up, and then I bring that arc down. Okay. And then I'm do the same concept on the top of the eye. So it's like I'm making a stencil. Okay. For me, it's necessary, but like I said, for you, you may not have to do as much, but this is just showing you creating the entire eye. So now I'm going to go to the top. Going up and then going down. Now I always tell people it's like if you were doing this for years, I would do that. And I know where it's like the brow muscle, I call it. I don't even know if that's the real terminology for it, but you'll see the natural structure of how your eyebrow would be. So then to fill in the stencil, and I'm not going to go all the way up here, so I'll end up getting rid of that. If I do like strokes versus doing lines, it blends in like natural hairs too. So let me get those extra at the top off. I tell people, my mission is for my eyes to look alike today. If they look exactly like tomorrow, which looked like today, but today, in the same day, they're going to look alike. So as I'm doing this, I always have to look straight ahead to see if they are looking closer like sisters. And I would use my concealer to thin that out. So I should have had a spongy. So I'm kind of using my nail. So I want to thin out that edge. So you guys see how I created that. So with and I don't have concealer in here. So I'm going to put some more shadow up there to show you also how I would do that. So when I look at both of my eyes, the key thing is you want to make sure they're level going across, because both of my brows, they're definitely made different. And I know that from having worked with them so long. And I tell you, the more you do it, the faster you can do it, because you realize what it takes to do it. That makes sense. So here often, like my under eye, doesn't arc the same way. So I have to always make sure when I take it from here, that angle is always the same. And the other issue I have is that I don't know if I thought the scar, like I have a scar on one of my brows. You know, don't a lot of us have a scar on the brow from where we were fighting when we were younger? Am I the only one that got a scar on my brow from fighting? As a little kid. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Raise your hand. Even in your replay, I want you to raise your hand if you have a scar in your eyebrow from fighting as a child. Okay. So, and also, can you guys see how dark that brow is compared to this brow? Okay. So this was the brow that was already done, right? So, but I always have to, like, this area of my eye does not, the skin seems to be like different right there. Now, looking at that, so with it being so dark, like that's like too dark for me as compared to my hair. I don't use, and this is the under my eye. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, you got your scar underneath your eye. But it's from fighting. Either it's fighting or we was jumping off something that we had no business, because your mama said don't be jumping. Stop that jumping. Then you jump and you either got a nick or something from that. Yeah, so it's going to be one of the two. Okay, so then I would take my, I would take my brush, and that helps me to distribute. Still got some of that. Where I was doing the pencil gives it a smoother look too. Okay. Then jumping off. Jumping off a chair. Yes, my daughter did something very similar. Busted her head open while I was on the cruise. Messed my auntie up. Because she was in her care. Okay, so I'm going to use the shadow to define underneath a little bit more. Now I'm going to come back and do the brow tint, because I like to do the brow tint as the final step of those brows. So you see how I'm just trying to clean up to have a nice clean look underneath. Still doesn't have as much of a point that I want. So that you can see how I'm just kind of cleaning it up. So you don't want to put your shadow on your brow. A lot of times people go crazy. Like, take your time. Like, get it where you're outlining, right underneath that brow. Okay? And then the brow tint, I use the brunette, which is a lighter shade. And you brush it in there. Now, LaToya has a better brow than I do. So her brow goes all the way over. She's younger than me too. And she probably didn't tweeze all her life, excuse me. But she doesn't even have to use a pencil at all. All she has to do is take her brow gel and she's able to go all the way over. Now, because I had to add my pencil there and there's no hair there, your brow gel can catch hair, the brow tint. But it does not do the same with skin. So what I have to do there is I just kind of place it to help lock that in as well. So I brush these. So it doesn't look as harsh as it did before. So just a matter of doing that. Now, if I was areas that people would add concealer to make their brow pop even more, is just putting the concealer around the entire brow. And that makes your brow come out. But everybody doesn't want a wild brow, right? We just need to have definition. So even if you have very light hairs, you can barely see it, you need to do your brows even more. I always tell people, even if you go and get them trimmed so you know where to get rid of excess hairs. Hello, Kimberly O'Neill. To get rid of excess hair so you know then where to work from. And I do believe this. This is my heart of hearts. I believe this. You really only need to get your brows done one time, unless you have like a serious issue. But once you get them done one time and they clean it up, they have it exactly how you want. All you do is then when you see one hair come, just pluck it. Just, get the little excess hairs versus waiting until they all grow back. Then you have to go through the experience again. So looking at your brows, just as a repeat. So that's with the one eye. That's pretty much done. those little marks, you just got to make sure where you lined it. So what I started off with, right, precision brow pencil. What did I do? I marked we call it mapping. I mapped my brow, M-A-P, my brow. Starting here from my nose going up, it should cross the corner of my eye going straight up. And I marked that's the starting point. Then I kept it at the tip of my nose and moved it over like a hand on a clock. And then I said this is where the top of my eyebrow would come. So I built it there. And then I took it from the side of my nose, still same spot, the corner of my eye, and then that's where my brow should end. So if your brow doesn't go all the way to that corner and you're putting on shadow, the shadow is just hanging out there. Versus now my shadow is defined in an area, so all my eye color comes together, right? Those multiple colors come together. So this was the brow before. Like I said, I have some issue with my skin. It just doesn't pick up the same way. But hopefully the other thing, one of my customers, she did her brow. She said one brow is higher than the other. A lot of times our face. So what we do is we take the pencil as a way to check it. You go like this and you rock it back and forth. So they should touch at the same place. So the top of one should be the top of the other. That's another way to check to make sure. So your brows may not naturally go there, but that's where you have to shape your brow to be. Let's see. So I think that's I put it on because of the dark. A couple ways to, if your brow pencil that you use, and we have a brunette, a dark brunette, the dark blonde. I choose to use a dark brunette so I can get the definition there. Then I soften it up. The brunette just gives a different type of tone. It doesn't pop as well against my skin to get the end effect that I want. So that's one thing. I use the brunette brow tint. So my brow precision pencil is dark brunette and my brow tint is brunette. So then I come back and soften it. Another product that I can use to soften my brows is Cinnabar eyeshadow. If you use if you're a little bit darker than I am, or your hair is darker, not so much your skin tone, but your hair is darker, our espresso eyeshadow is really good to help define the brows to make it soft without going like wow. Because some people don't want the wow brow, they just want a brow. So this is what we're talking about today, more a brow as well. So is there any questions? Because this was to show you just the difference that a brow makes. So if you just see the beginning, you saw where I started off with brows, I took a brow off, and then I recreated the brow. Understanding the more you do it, the faster it becomes. And then we want to invite you to be, and I'll put the link in here when I'm finished, invite you to come to our eye color clinic. So if you normally just wear one eyeshadow, you don't wear eyeshadows at all, but would love to wear eyeshadows, because when you wear your eyeshadow, especially with us wearing a mask, you look at my eyes, what is your eyes saying? So to still have, so we won't be looking so duh. We can put on our mask, but our eyes could be popping. So tomorrow we show you how to take it from one eyeshadow to 4, being able to do 4 eyeshadows. What I have on is 4 different eyeshadows. I have Lucky Shiny Penny, Gold Status, or Gold Coast. Gotta get the right name. Shame on me. The Cinnabar and the Hot Fudge. So to be able to build, and I did not use concealer, so I used the shadow to cover the whole entire eye. So I'm gonna put the link. We would love to have you come and just be part of our eye color. So you learn about brushes, you'll learn about different products that's needed, you'll learn about primers. All of that would be shared with you so that when you're ready to pop your eye, you are able to do it. And the difference between putting shadow in one color, why you use creases, why you use matte colors versus when you would use a light color versus when you would use a dark color. All of that will be shared with you tomorrow on our eye clinic, and it's 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. The link would be here. You would register for it, and then we'll make sure that you have your follow-up email, and then we would text you to confirm as well. So love it. So enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we will see you on tomorrow at our Cocoa Mocha Eye Color Clinic.